Hello yogis, welcome back to your mat. My name is Krista and this is day 12 of our Spring into Yoga challenge. Today is going to be a full body mobility class. So less emphasis on the yoga poses per se, but more emphasis on moving our joints and moving our bodies. This is a great class to do as soon as you wake up to get the body moving, to get the blood flowing, to warm up the body for the day, or you can do it at the end of the day as a nice cool down or warm down for your evening. So for this class, you don't need any props, just yourself, and we're going to get started standing. So once you come up to standing, just waking up through the feet a little bit first. So lifting up the heels, maybe rolling onto the tops of the feet, bringing a nice stretch. Just moving side to side, one foot and then the other. Yeah, really feeling that arch in the foot. And then we're going to be doing these things called spinal waves, and we're going to kind of move the whole body in different directions. And I really love this exercise because it really helps to warm up the body, and it's kind of fun and a very intuitive movement. So we're going to start by bringing the big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. And we're going to start going back and forth. So I'm just going to switch to the side here. And you're just going to start to kind of bend the knees and just lean your weight forward and back, trying to bring the knees past the toes and then back. Try not to lift the heels. Yeah. And then we're going to move it up to the hips. So sending the hips back, sending the hips forward. Again, what does that feel to keep the knees involved here? Now we're going to start bringing our chest into it. So try and keep the lower body still and just think of reaching the sternum bone up towards the ceiling and then rounding the spine. Rolling the shoulders. Trying to isolate kind of each part of the body. And now we're going to move to our cervical spine. And this one, it's kind of like a chicken dance with the head. So you're going to think of poking your head out and then drawing, think of pulling it back, almost like you want to create like a double chin. So pulling your chin back and then drawing your head forward, pulling the head back. Try not to allow the chest to go with it, just your head. We'll do that a few more times. Beautiful. And now we're going to kind of incorporate that whole wave motion. So just starting off nice and slow, bend the knees. Think of arching your back. And then drawing the hips forward as you straighten the legs, hollowing out through the chest. Arching the back. Yeah, full body participation here. And as we get warmed up, we can take this movement bigger and bigger. Maybe as you arch the back, you start to find your cactus arms. Yeah, really finding a nice expansion, reaching the arms. And then as you find that nice rounding through the upper back, you come into a forward fold. Yeah. Dive forward, arch the back. If it's okay for your neck, you can allow the head to get involved. And you almost start getting in this rhythm like a wave with the spine, and it's okay if it doesn't happen for you right away. Yeah, so almost like your arms are like diving forward. Last one here. Come all the way up to stand. And now we're gonna kind of switch that movement side to side. So now I'm gonna face the camera so you can see my body a little bit better. So same thing here, just a slight bend in the knees and just start shifting the knees back and forth. Maybe rocking onto the inside and outside edges of the feet as you move. Warming up the ankles. And then keeping the feet on the floor, just the knees. And then straightening the legs just to come up to stand and to start shifting your hips side to side without moving anything else in the body. Almost like a belly dancer move. Yeah, and you might notice your abdominals start to wake up here to really pull yourself in each direction. And then keeping the hips still, now let's try and do that with the upper body. Yeah, this one I find is a little bit more difficult for me. So try not to let the arms lead, which I tend to want to do. You almost just want to let like the full skeleton, the rib cage, lead the way. Yeah, and then come back to a neutral spine. And then same thing we did with the head. Now we're just gonna move side to side. So yeah, try not to let anything else move. Your shoulders might lift a little bit. This one might feel a little bit weird. Beautiful. Now come up to center. Like we did the waves forward and back, now we're going to try and take those waves side to side. So bending the knees, moving the knees off to one side, opening up through the side that the knees are bending towards. And then think of drawing ear towards the shoulder, coming back up. So if my my right hip starts to reach out, then my left ear comes towards the shoulder, and then right ear towards the shoulder to come up. Yeah. So this one's a little bit more challenging, I find, to do, but it feels really good because you're really getting a nice stretch into the sides of the body and through the neck. Just be mindful of the neck here. If you do have any neck issues, just kind of keep the head in more of a neutral position. Or if you start to feel dizzy at all. Yeah, so like your head and your hips are moving in opposite directions. Move nice and slow. And then come back up to neutral. And now we're gonna do that in spiral motion. So this one's kind of fun. So we're gonna start with the feet, again, hands onto the knees. And as you take your knees in one direction, allow the toes to lift up, allow the heels to lift up. And then moving in the opposite direction. And then keep the feet glued onto the mat and just move the knees. Really spiraling them into one direction. Really challenging all the areas that those knees can move into. And then moving in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then come up to stand. Now we're going to do the same thing with the hips. So we've already done front to back, side to side. So now we're just going to incorporate one big circle. So hips off to the left, then back, then to the right, then forward, left, back, side, front. Yeah. And again, trying not to get the rest of the body involved here. So what we're doing is we're actually tucking the tail as the hips come forward, and then we're arching the low back as the hips move back in space. And then move in the opposite direction. If it helps, you can bring your hands onto your waist so you can really feel those hips move. Beautiful. And then come up to standing. We're going to do the same thing with the upper body. So try and keep everything else staying still, and then just start to move the upper body. Again, think of going back, to the side, to the front, to the back. Yeah, try not to let the rest of the body get involved here. Move in the opposite direction. And then come back to neutral. And now the cervical spine, we're going to move it in that big circular motion. So think of bringing it forward to the side, back to the other side, forward, side, back to the other side. Move in the opposite direction. This one feels really cool and weird at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to incorporate all of that together. So just think of circling the whole body. If you think of the spine as all the way from the crown of your head to the bottom of your feet, or this long line of energy, if you will, then think of allowing that little, like a wave, almost to like circle, get the head involved. Get the arms involved too, so as you move, maybe you swim the arms. Really opening up. Beautiful. And then come all the way up to stand and just shake it out. And just notice, how does your body feel right now? Do you feel nice and loose and limber? And I hope you enjoyed this little spinal wave exercise, and I hope that you not only incorporate it into your day during this challenge, but maybe saving this video for any time you need to wake up the body, to start your day, or to kind of wind down, to move your body at the end of a long, busy day. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Namaste, and I will see you tomorrow.